Okay, arithmetic sequences. We're going to see how we can use our graphing calculator knowledge to help us with these type of problems. So if n is a position problem and you have a table, remember very first thing you're going to do with the table is set up your ordered pairs. So 1, 7, and then 2, 4, 3, 1, 4, -2, 5, -5, okay? I want to see which one. Now, I'm going to use graph, but I cannot use n, so I'm always going to use an x. All right, so use an x for this. Now, remember when you graph, when we go to graph, you're going to hit the down arrow button to go to the next graph, and we're going to put graph all 4 at one time. So we're going to graph all 4 at the same time. We're going to write colors. All right, so go to a new document, and then do we never want to save, and then you always want to go to graphs. Okay, so we're going to enter the first one. So remember, I'm going to use x, 3x minus 17. Now instead of hitting enter, hit the down arrow button. Now see that came up blue, so I'm going to write B for blue. The next one is -9 and use x, don't use n, that one came up red. So I'm going to put R for red. The next one is -3x plus 1. Hit the down arrow button, that is black. And then the next one is 10 minus, oops, I had 2 zeros, 10 minus 3n, or 3x, can't use the x. Now, that's pink, all right? Now, once you get the pink one, now once you do that, hit enter, and there's your graphs, that tab bar is gone. You're gonna hit Control T. Remember, look at your table. Now, remember, the first one went with the 7, so see the blue one doesn't match. See, that's not a 7. Go to the red one. The red one's not a 7. It doesn't match. So go to the black one. The black one is not 7. That doesn't match. Oh, the pink one is a 7. By 2, there's a 4. By 3, there's a 1. And by 4, there's a -2. And by 5, there's a -5. So the pink one matches all the way down. So that's why pink is my answer. Okay? Now, some of you have asked about, on graphing. I think the easiest thing to do, there's 2 things you can do. You can hit Control Dock, and that's another one, and you just open up a new graph, okay? Now, let's look at this problem. Given the pattern, okay, I have a pattern. So this is first term, second term, third term, fourth term. So set up your T-chart. My first, see this is, this goes together. So 1, -2 goes together. And then you have 2, -5. That goes together. And you have 3, -8, and then you have 4, -11. Make sure that you put that 1, 2, 3, 4 above it. And remember, I'm going to use x on all those. So don't use an n, use an x. So I'm going to do the same thing, okay? So 2x minus 4, and I'll hit the down arrow button, so that one's green. 6x minus 8, hit the down arrow button, that one's yellow. -3x plus 1, hit the down arrow button, that one is brown, and then -5x plus 3. And then hit enter, that one's blue. So I'm going to record those. That was green, yellow, brown, and blue. So you can use BR and BL. Now remember, you want to go to those tables, hit Control T, and that first term should be -2. That matches, but 2 should be -5, so that does not match. Okay, that's a -2, but the second one should be a 4. That does not match. -2 matches, -5, -8, -11. So the brown one, that is my match. Okay, so that's my answer. On number 3, you have shaded and unshaded. Now, make sure, we don't really know which one they want first, so I'm just going to make a note. There is one that is shaded, and it says which rule relates to the number of shaded squares to the total number of squares. So the shaded squares is represented by S, total is represented by T, so there's 3 total. Here there's 2 shaded, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total, and then this one has 3 shaded and 9 total, okay? Now this is where it gets a little confusing, because when you look over here, they didn't all set up the same. The shaded is always S, okay? Now here's my S on this side, and on the other ones, it's on the other side. And then they have total, so all the totals are t, okay? So make sure that you're careful when you set it up. So I'm going to show you, like this one right here, see the t, that's like in your y spot, and this is in your x spot. So for A, the S would be your x side, and your t would be your y side. So that would be 1, 3, 2, 6, and 3, 9. So I'm going to try this 1/3, and I'm going to see if that works. So I'm just going to go to a brand new document. The thing about control docs is it doesn't ever clear it all off, and so I really like to clear it off. So you're going to hit your fraction, control divide 1/3, and then I'm going to put x. Now remember, x in this case, okay, there's your x in this case is going to be your s. So there's my 1, and then I should get a 3. Well, that is not a 3, so that does not match, okay? Now, is there anything else that has an s on this side? No. So I'm going to X this out. That does not work. Now, on the other ones, see over here, X would be on the side next to numbers, and then you got your equal to your Y. Remember, the slope is always next to X. So T is on the X side, and then S is on the Y side. So that'd be 3, 1, 6, 2, and 9, 3. So now we're going to go back and we're going to set up. Again, I like doing the brand new one because I just think it's easier, it keeps it clean. So I'm going to say x minus 2. Now this time I can enter all of them. 1/3, so control divide 1/3. And then I've got my x. And then I've got 2/3, so control divide 2/3. And then you've got your x. Now enter. And then hit control T. Now this time, remember, I wanted the 3 to go with a 1. So I go down to the 3. Here's a 1. And then 6 had to go with 2. Oh, that doesn't match. So the first one doesn't match. Okay? So the 3 had to go with the 1. There's a 1. The 6 had to go with the 2. That one matches. And then the 9 had to go with the 3. So the red one matches. So that would be C. So be careful how you set that up. On number 4, again, you've got a sequence. So 1, 2, 3. Make sure you set up your table. 117 goes together. 213. And then you've got 39. Now this time it says, use an equation to find the 9th, 10th, and 11th term. So I have to keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have to keep going to get all those terms. So I need to see what happens. So I'm going to find my rate of change. All right, 2 minus 1 is 1. 13 minus 17 is a negative 4. Remember, so every single time, 3 minus 2 is 1. 9 minus 13 is negative 4. Every single time, I'm going down by 4. So look on your calculator. I'm going to add a calculator page. So control doc, I'm going to add just a calculator page. So just hit 1. So 17 minus 4, C is 13. And that can hit minus 4, that gives me 9. Minus 4, that gives me 5. Okay? So after this one, this was a 5. So I just keep going. I'm going to keep going, minus 4, and there's 1. And I'm just going to keep going all the way down. Oops. And then minus 4. So the next one is negative 3. And I could just keep going. Okay? But I've already done that, and so I'm going to write down what that is. The next one is negative 7. The next one is negative 11. And then the next one is negative 15. And then you have negative 19. And the last one is negative 23. And you have to keep track of it. The 9th, 10th, and 11th terms right here would be negative 15, negative 19, and negative 23. Now, I'm going to show you how you got that rule. This right here is your rate of change. So remember, negative 4, swing over the 1. That's negative 4. That is your rate of change. And remember, the rate always goes in front of x, negative 4x. Now, think about how would you get the number above it. You know how we always do 13 minus 17? Well, if I do 9 minus negative 4, look what happens. So 9 minus negative 4. Doesn't that give me the number above it? Okay, 9 minus negative 4, that gave me 13. If I do 13 minus negative 4, that will give me 17. So I'm going to say 17 minus negative 4. So on your calculator, 17 minus negative 4, you get 21. So that means, sorry about that, my y-intercept is 21. Now I'm going to graph that and show you that that works. So I'm going to go to a brand new doc. Again, you could do control doc. I just like going to a brand new one and getting a clean slate. Negative 4x plus 21. Hit enter, go to control T, and look. There's the numbers, 117, 213, 3, 9, and I can keep going all the way down. And so the 9th term was negative 15, the 10th term was negative 19, the 11th term was negative 23, so that worked. Okay. On the next one, on number 5, the points on the graph, so I have to use the graph, and the points on my graph, remember the x and the y, the x says you go left or right, the y tells you go up or down, negative, positive, positive, negative. So this first point is negative 3, negative 6. The next point is negative 1, positive 2. This point right there is 0, 3. I stayed put and went up. This next point is 2, negative 1. And this last point is 3, negative 6. So again, you would graph those and see which one matched. And I'm going to let you do that because all you have to do is just plug it in and then look at the table just like we did before, and it would be D. Okay, but that's what you want to do with that. On number 6, the triangles below are arranged in a sequence to produce a geometric pattern. Which expression can be used to determine the perimeter? Okay, so remember to make your table, all right? So when there's one triangle, and this is going to be the perimeter, when there's one triangle, remember the perimeter, you add up all the sides, that's 15. So one triangle is a perimeter of 15. When there's two triangles, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, the perimeter is 25. When there's 5 triangles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, it's 35. So make your table, then put these in. Remember to use your X's, okay? Put that in, look at it, see which one matches, and it would be D, okay? And then on the last 2, it says find the sequence. Now I want to show you this one because there's a difference here. This one, everything is on the top, and on this one, it's just x divided by 3 in the n minus 4. So I want you to see the difference on that. So I'm going to go to a brand new document. That's just my preference. So everything's on the top. So hit Control Divide, and then you're going to put 3x minus 2 on the top, and then arrow down and put 4. And then hit Enter. Hit Control T, and then you can do your first 4 numbers in the sequence, or first 5. The first one is 0.25, the second one is 1, the third one is 1.75, and the fourth one is 2.5, ... Okay? Now we're going to do the difference. So if you want to do the second one, do Control Doc is how you can get another one, and then you can hit Control Divide, and this one is x over 3. Now, arrow over and then hit minus 4. Look at the difference. See, the minus 4 is not on the top. Hit Enter. Now hit Control T. And this time you have, they're decimals. Now, you need to know that 0.6 repeating is 2/3. And you should know that from middle school, but some of you may have forgotten. 0.3 repeating is 1/3. Okay? And then you had negative 3. And then you had negative 2.6 repeating. Remember, 0.6 is 2/3. And then the last one is negative 2.3 repeating. So that's negative 2 1/3. And so these are the sequences. Now they might have decimals, but if they're repeating, they'll usually always write them as fractions.